Hi, welcome to the Craft Channel. My name's Corinne Brad and I've got a really cute project for you today. I've got some little paper budgies. Everyone loves a budgie. Drunk paper budgies, actually, by the look of this one here, that you can use to decorate a wall hanging, put it in the window, and because they're made from a piece of folded card, you can actually make them into a bookmark to brighten up a little raven there. Because you may have seen some of our demonstrations with this magnetic sheet that you can buy. It is really great for just making little paper clips. So what we have is a template that's in the description below that you can download, and I would suggest that what you do is you don't do it on paper, but you download it and stick it or trace it onto thin card. So you have your budgie body, you've got 3 different wings, you've got 2 different tail feathers, a tiny beak, and a face mask. And also a quick tip is when you download it, when you trace them onto your templates, just make a little cross on one side, the correct side of the template, because what you're going to need to do is cut these out symmetrically because they are shaped to fit the body, and if you cut them all out the same way, then one wing won't look quite as good as the other. So let's pop them there a minute. Start with your body piece, and actually you'd be better off folding it in half, popping it onto a piece of folded cardstock, tracing round it, and then just simply cut it out with a pair of scissors. Now this is another great stash buster project because all the tiny pieces that you'll be cutting can be cut from a minimum of card. You know, if you've got leftover pieces from scrapbooking or card making, and they're bright, vibrant colours, then don't throw them away. Just save them in a box for a project like this. Oh. And I'm using textured card because I find actually a textured card cuts really well. I mean, the other thing you can do if you've got a electronic cutting machine, you can actually scan and save down the templates to put into your electronic cutting machine so you can cut them out, obviously not from scrap card, but you can cut them out yourself. Now, before I go any further, this is the magnetic sheet that I was talking about. It's quite easy to cut with scissors. The shiny side tends to stick to the shiny side. And if you stick it together, you can cut the pieces exactly the same size. Just a quick tip with things like this, if you've got tiny bits, make sure you dispose of them properly, especially if you've got pets or children in the house, because swallowing a piece of magnetic strip is not the greatest idea in the world. Pop some glue on one side and stick it inside your budgie. Make sure the other bit is lined up before you pop the glue on it. And close your budgie on top of it to allow the glue to dry. Now we put the magnet in first because at some point I'm going to secure the head so that it doesn't open as easily. So get yourself a piece of card. And as I say, if you draw around the template shapes and mark a cross on the side that the cross is, and when you flip it over, leave it blank, and then simply cut them out. Again, I'm cutting green paper out on a blue cutting mat, just to make it really difficult for you to see what I'm doing against the cutting mat. If you watch enough of these videos, you can pretty much guarantee that I will completely forget what colour I'm using. And you don't have to be completely precise when you're cutting out the wings and the tail feathers. The only tricky bit of cutting would be the beak and the face mask. So this actually makes it quite a good project to do with the children. because it isn't too fiddly. And you know, if you go off the lines a bit, it's not the end of the world. Final piece. There you go. And keep your pieces in piles of crosses and not crosses. For example, here's the head pieces. That's another tail feather. The rest of the wings, which I've put one in the wrong pile. And the beak. Beak is the fiddliest piece. You may lose it on numerous occasions. And if you do, just cut yourself another one because it's so much quicker. So what we'll do is we'll start by putting the face masks on first. And they go on just like this. So the beak area lines up. Oh no. Very important point that I completely forgot. Before you put the face mask on, cut yourself a couple of tiny scraps of black card. You don't need a lot. You just need enough to glue behind the ear. Behind the ear, behind the eye on each piece. So if you do that, it saves an awful lot of messing about with black pens. I don't know about you, whenever I try and draw an eyeball with a black pen, it never comes out right. So pop that on there. So the beak lines up and you have the Budgie's cheek in the right place. And we'll just pop this one on the other side. Like so. And then if you take your beak piece, your tiny little beak piece, and fold it in half, open it out and put some glue on it. And then just pop it over the end of your Budgie's face. And what I would recommend you do is if you just get a little craft clip and hold it in place for the glue to dry. And while you're waiting for the glue to dry, you can layer up your wings. So we'll start with the crosses. And to give a 3D effect, if you pop a tiny foam pad on the back of the two smaller pieces, turn them over the right way before you try and glue them. Just put a little bit of glue on the top of the wing so that it's flat at the top, but it's fanning out towards the bottom. So there's one. Do exactly the same with the other wings. And as I say, make sure you've cut them out as they're mirror images because they are very slightly shaped to fit each side of the body. Turn over your card. This is the other good reason for using textured card, is you always know which side up is the right side. If you're just using patterned paper for this, you can tell which is the wrong side because it's normally white. So there are your two wings. And then you can glue these to the body So this is the non-cross side. Just a good dashing of glue there. Oh. Wings are flying away already. And then the tail feathers. If you just tuck the top of the tail feather up beneath the wing, now I'm sure budgie fanciers everywhere are going to me, that bird is really not anatomically correct. It's called poetic license. But also it's quite nice to be able to use up a multitude of scraps of paper card in beautiful colours. There you go. And there you've got your budgie. Let's just pop them in this book. A book about birds. And he'll just sit over the edge, and you can pull him right down so that the back of his spine runs along the edge of the paper and his beak just stops him getting completely enclosed in the book. So there you go. I hope you like that. I hope you like these little budgies. As I say, it's one of those great little projects for a rainy day, especially if you've got children in the house, or you know, you just want to do something to fill a bit of time and use a few bits of scrap card up. Templates are available to download below in the description. And please come and see us on Facebook. Share your stories. Let us know what you like to craft and what you'd like to see us do very, very soon. But in the meantime, thank you very much for watching. If you've been inspired to create, please share your makes with us in the comments section below. And if you've enjoyed videos by the Crafts channel, hit the like button. Want to see more of us? Then click subscribe. See you next time.